Julius Malema has been called many things: a rabble-rouser, an inciter of violence, and a Marxist. But behind the controversy is the story of a man who has relentlessly fought for economic freedom in South Africa. He rose from humble beginnings to become one of the nation's most well-known voices for change since Nelson Mandela. This video tells the story of Malema's lifelong fight for justice in South Africa, from joining the struggle against apartheid to calling out today's leaders for failing to improve poor black people's lives. You'll also find out how Malema forced hard conversations, threatening to shake the status quo. His methods are controversial, but his goal remains the same: to push the country to fulfill Mandela's vision of economic freedom for all. Make sure you follow this video to the very end to thoroughly understand Malema, the multifaceted freedom fighter inspiring South Africa's youth to challenge the status quo and bring about genuine change for coming generations. Julius Malema was born on March 3, 1981 in Seshego, Limpopo, South Africa. He was raised in a small township and experienced the harsh realities of poverty from an early age. His childhood was marked by struggles, with limited access to education and basic amenities. Despite these challenges, Malema showed resilience and determination. While growing up, Malema was deeply influenced by his grandmother, who instilled a strong sense of justice and equality in him. She was a pillar of strength in his life, imparting valuable lessons about the importance of standing up for what is right, even in the face of adversity. Malema lived in the apartheid era and witnessed firsthand the injustices inflicted upon black communities. The oppressive political environment fueled his early activism as he became involved in student protests and community organizing efforts. His upbringing in Seshego shaped his worldview and ignited his passion for social change. He understood the systemic inequalities that plagued South African society and was determined to fight for a better future for his people. As a young boy, Malema dreamed of making a difference. Little did he know that his humble beginnings would set the stage for a remarkable journey ahead. After his formative years in Seshego, Julius Malema's journey led him into youth politics. He immersed himself in student activism in the early 2000s, leveraging his passion for change to advocate for the rights of young people. Malema's dedication and charisma quickly caught the attention of the African National Congress, ANC, South Africa's ruling party. He ascended to the leadership of the ANC Youth League in 2008 at the age of 27, a significant milestone in his political career. This appointment catapulted him onto the national stage, where he emerged as a vocal and influential figure within the party. Malema played a pivotal role in rallying support for Jacob Zuma's presidency during his tenure as the leader of the ANC Youth League. His impassioned speeches and grassroots organizing efforts mobilized youth support for the ANC, solidifying his reputation as a formidable political force. Malema's ascent within the ANC Youth League marked the beginning of his rise to prominence in South African politics. His ability to galvanize young voters and his unwavering commitment to the ANC's cause cemented his position as a critical player in the nation's political landscape. However, Malema's rise to power was not without controversy. His fiery rhetoric and confrontational style often landed him in hot water, drawing criticism from both within and outside the ANC. Accusations of hate speech and corruption plagued his leadership, tarnishing his reputation and sparking internal discord within the party. The ANC took decisive action against Malema, expelling him from the party in 2012 due to a litany of disciplinary charges. This marked another significant turning point in his political career, as he was ousted from the organization he had once championed. Undeterred by his expulsion, Malema wasted no time regrouping and forging a new path. In the same year, he founded the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, a radical political movement dedicated to economic justice and equality for all South Africans. The formation of the EFF sent shockwaves through the political establishment, signaling the emergence of a formidable new force in South African politics. Malema's expulsion from the ANC reshaped the political landscape and galvanized support for his nascent movement, attracting disillusioned ANC members and disaffected voters alike. As Malema embarked on this new chapter in his political career, The impact of his expulsion reverberated throughout South African society, laying the groundwork for the tumultuous years ahead. Following his expulsion from the ANC, Malema wasted no time charting a new course for himself and South African politics. He co-founded the Economic Freedom Fighters in 2013, alongside other disillusioned former ANC members. This marked the beginning of another bold new chapter in Malema's political career. The EFF quickly gained traction with its radical platform, which centered on economic justice, land reform, and radical transformation. Malema and his fellow founders championed the cause of the marginalized and disenfranchised, promising to dismantle the legacy of apartheid and build a more equitable society for all South Africans. The party's message resonated deeply with a population disillusioned by the ANC's perceived failure to address the country's pressing social and economic issues. Within a short period, the EFF rose to prominence, attracting widespread support from across the political spectrum. Malema's dynamic leadership and unapologetic approach to politics played a vital role in the party's rapid ascent. His charisma and ability to connect with voters helped propel the EFF onto the national stage, challenging the dominance of the ANC and other established political parties. As the EFF's popularity surged, its impact on the South African political landscape became increasingly apparent. The party injected new energy and ideas into the national discourse, forcing other parties to reckon with its growing influence. Malema adopted an aggressive style as the leader of the EFF, unafraid to challenge the status quo. In Parliament, he uses tactics such as heckling and walkouts to disrupt proceedings and draw attention to the party's agenda. Malema's bold approach has made him a polarizing figure, earning him admirers and detractors. The EFF's campaigns for land expropriation without compensation struck a chord with many South Africans, particularly those who had been dispossessed during apartheid. Malema relentlessly pushed for radical land reform, challenging the ruling ANC to take decisive action. His influence on South African politics is undeniable, as he has positioned himself as a vocal advocate for the marginalized and disenfranchised. Despite facing criticism from political opponents, he has remained steadfast in his commitment to fighting for economic justice and equality. His tenure as the leader of the EFF was marked by legal battles and controversies that captured the nation's attention. In 2023, during President Cyril Ramaphosa's State of the Nation address, Malema and other EFF lawmakers disrupted the proceedings, demanding the removal of former apartheid leader F.W. de Klerk from Parliament. Clad in their signature red overalls and hard hats, the EFF lawmakers staged a walkout, delaying the speech by 90 minutes. Malema's outspoken condemnation of de Klerk as an unrepentant apologist of apartheid sparked a heated debate, highlighting the ongoing tensions surrounding South Africa's apartheid past. The EFF's call for de Klerk's expulsion from Parliament reflected their uncompromising stance on issues of justice and accountability. Malema and the EFF faced legal repercussions for their disruptive actions in Parliament. In a separate incident, he and other EFF members were suspended from Parliament for interrupting President Ramaphosa's speech on February 9, 2023. Despite legal challenges and appeals, the EFF's suspension was upheld by the courts, underscoring the party's aggressive approach to politics. These legal battles and controversies underscore his determination to challenge the existing state of affairs and hold those in power accountable. His willingness to push the boundaries of political decorum and confront authority head-on cemented his reputation as a polarizing figure in South African politics. Malema's controversial remarks at an EFF rally on July 29, 2023, sparked outrage both within South Africa and around the world. During the party's 10th anniversary celebration, he addressed a crowd of 90,000 supporters at a stadium in Johannesburg. He delivered a speech that included chants of "Kill the Boer," reigniting a long-standing debate about the controversial song's meaning and implications. The rally was a spectacle of genuine support for the EFF, with party workers packing the venue and treating Malema like a rock star. Amidst a shower of red and gold confetti, he made his incendiary remarks, setting off a firestorm of criticism and condemnation. The timing of his comments was significant, as South Africa was gearing up for national elections. With polls indicating potential challenges for the ruling African National Congress, Malema's EFF positioned itself as a critical player in the political landscape. The history of the Kill the Boer song dates back to South Africa's apartheid era, symbolizing resistance against racial oppression. While some argue that the song is a call to action against discrimination, others see it as a dangerous incitement to violence. Malema's controversial remarks once again thrust him into the spotlight, highlighting the complexities of race relations and political discourse in post-apartheid South Africa. The reactions to his controversial remarks were swift and vehement. The Democratic Alliance condemned Malema, accusing him of inciting ethnic violence and describing him as a bloodthirsty tyrant intent on sparking mass murder. Party leader John Steenhuisen vowed to file a complaint against Malema with the UN Human Rights Council and hinted at potential legal action. Malema's comments attracted attention from some far-right Americans in the United States, who interpreted them as a call to violence. The concerns escalated after South Africa-born billionaire Elon Musk expressed his apprehension, alleging that Malema and the EFF were openly advocating for the genocide of white people in South Africa. In response, he defended his remarks during a press conference, dismissing Musk's criticism and accusing him of benefiting from white privilege. Malema asserted that singing Kill the Boer was a form of protest against apartheid and discrimination, rejecting allegations that it constituted a direct call for violence. Julius Malema, known for his fiery rhetoric, wasted no time launching the Economic Freedom Fighters' electoral campaign with scathing criticism of the ruling African National Congress. Addressing the crowd, Malema accused the ANC of neglecting the country's pressing issues, particularly the ongoing power cuts, which he blamed on President Cyril Ramaphosa. He labeled the power cuts as a direct threat to the lives of South Africans, emphasizing the party's manifesto theme: "Our land and jobs now. Stop load shedding." Julius Malema didn't mince words when he accused the ANC of perpetuating economic apartheid, highlighting the stark inequalities that persist in South Africa's economy. His message resonated with many disillusioned voters, with the country grappling with an energy crisis, sluggish economic growth, and soaring unemployment rates. He'd also vowed to harness political power to effect real change as the country geared up for parliamentary elections. He promised to create 4 million new jobs and put an end to power cuts within 6 months of taking office, signaling the EFF's ambitious agenda for governance. With opposition parties actively seeking to unseat the ANC, Malema's rallying cry struck a chord with those seeking an alternative to the ruling party's decades-long dominance. As the campaign heats up, South Africa braces for a fiercely contested election that could reshape the country's political landscape. The Economic Freedom Fighters has garnered attention for its radical and militant approach to addressing the entrenched inequalities that persist in post-apartheid South Africa. Renowned for its theatrics, the party has advocated for sweeping reforms, including land redistribution and the nationalization of key economic sectors. These policies aim to confront the legacy of apartheid and empower marginalized communities who continue to face systemic discrimination. Julius Malema, the party's leader, has not shied away from using provocative language to highlight what he sees as the ongoing struggle against white supremacy. He has accused President Cyril Ramaphosa of embodying a white settler mentality, portraying him as a symbol of the entrenched power structures that perpetuate inequality in the country. The stadium where Malema addressed the EFF rally was adorned with flags of the African Union, symbolizing the party's pan-Africanist ideals and commitment to continental unity. Support for the EFF has surged in recent years, particularly among young Black South Africans disillusioned by entrenched poverty and unemployment. The party has actively targeted universities and young voters, leveraging social media and celebrity endorsements to amplify its message. As a result, the EFF has made significant inroads in student body elections, tapping into the frustrations of a generation grappling with economic hardship and social inequality. Polls indicate that the party is locked in a tight race with the Liberal Democratic Alliance for second place behind the ruling African National Congress. According to a recent survey, both the EFF and the Democratic Alliance are polling between 17 and 20%, highlighting the growing influence of opposition parties in South African politics. Top EFF members of Parliament were barred from this year's address after disrupting last year's State of the Nation address. In response, the EFF boycotted the event. Due to corruption scandals prospects, coalition government looms with the ANC's parliamentary majority at risk. Malema remains resolute, declaring the EFF's determination to win in 2024. Despite the rain, thousands celebrated in Durban Stadium after Malema's address, underscoring the party's growing influence. The journey of Julius Malema is a testament to the complexities of South African politics and the enduring struggle for economic justice and equality. From his humble beginnings in Seshego to his rise as a formidable force in South African politics, Malema has consistently challenged authority and fought for the rights of the marginalized. His controversial remarks and confrontational style have sparked debate and division, yet his unwavering commitment to his cause has earned him a loyal following. As South Africa prepares for the upcoming elections, the political landscape is more uncertain than ever. Will Malema and the EFF emerge victorious, or will the ANC maintain its grip on power? Let us know what you think in the comments. Encourage us to keep making videos like this for you by liking this video and subscribing to the New Tourist channel. Do not forget to turn on notifications too so you get notified whenever we upload videos like this for you. Thanks for watching and see you in our next video.